Hello, my name is Marissa Espinoza, and I'm the town crier. No, really, I am. Because apparently I cry a lot, for a lot of reasons. And I mean ugly cry. It's a thing now where I can't even pray intentions or read the gospel out loud. I cry at Mass or when I'm ministering the Eucharist. But one day when I told a church friend that I just can't stop crying, and this was after another version of my witness, she says to me, "Marissa, those are tears of joy." And she was right. So very right. They laugh. I cry from the sheer joy of having someone to turn to that gets me, of having this wonderful, beautiful, meaningful, spiritual, historical, complex faith, and from knowing that JC, as I affectionately call Jesus, has my back, quite literally, because he's been pushing me forward since 2007. 2007 is when the renewal of my faith began. Up until that year, things were okay, even though I went through some rough patches. I think of them as rough patches, but back then, there were huge, nasty, mud-filled bumps in the road. You know what I mean? By the time 2000 came around, life happened. I was raised in a good home with good parents, graduated high school, worked in the fashion industry, dated a family friend, got engaged and married a family friend. After 5 years, he was unfaithful. I left. We divorced. My parents were going through the same thing. My ex-husband eventually had children. I never did. At some point, I wondered where God was. Where was he? Because he wasn't anywhere I could see. Then 2000 came around, which meant I was finally able to attend a 27-hour cornerstone retreat at my parish. I didn't want to really be there, but it was the big thing happening in the parish for a few years, and everybody went to it. It was there that I was renewed. It was there that I realized that thing, that wanting more, that I need more, that there's got to be more than this. I was missing. It was God. It was faith. It was hope. It was inner peace. Once I realized that and was open to it, to him, in my life, things changed overnight. I went from wanting someone to love and respect me no matter what, to knowing that Jesus did. And he does. And he always had, even during those nasty bumps in the road when I thought God had abandoned me. Well, things changed pretty quickly after that revelation. I was in the bathtub, by the way. It just happens. It happens where it happens. You have no control over it. I joined team for the next year's cornerstone, and it was there that I learned to pray and how to become a real practicing Catholic. I became a light and an inspiration to others. My renewal was oozing out of me. I smiled all the time. I was definitely crying all the time. I was caring all the time. I was understanding all the time. I was living my faith all the time. All the time. Even when my grandfather suddenly passed, all the time. I intended to go with him to hospice, but he passed before that happened. I never went back to work because of the little nervous breakdown I had. At least that's what I'm calling it. I was out of work and living on commission checks and my tax return for 3 months. Constantly praying to my grandmother, Mommy, because she saved money. And to my grandfather, Papi, because he spent it. Until I was called by the Archdiocese of Newark for an interview. 2 weeks later, I was hired as the administrative assistant to the Vicar of Pastoral Life, Monsignor Richard Arnholz, and I could not have asked for a better supervisor, especially since he was only in the office once a week. I mean, the perfect job with the perfect boss. Being a pastor of a large, thriving parish in Bergen County as well, my coworkers quickly became friends. And fast forward to 2009 when I enrolled as an undergraduate at the Immaculate Conception Seminary School of Theology at Seton Hall University in South Orange. Thank you. I'm very proud of that too. In the spring of 2018, I finally became a senior, and graduation is not far away. That light at the end of the tunnel that everybody talks about finally turned on, and it's getting brighter and brighter with every semester. I'm an active parishioner at St. Peter the Apostle Church in River Edge, serving as a Eucharistic minister, co-leader of their new evangelization ministry, and until recently spent 3 years in the pastoral council. All of this could not have been possible if I had not allowed myself to open up, if I had not been searching for that thing, if I had known that all of this wonderment was waiting for me, I would have opened up sooner. But that's not how any of this works, is it? No. Realizing that there's a greater plan for me, that I don't have to plan or control much, helps navigate this life I have. Do I sometimes try to take control back? Absolutely, it doesn't. But then I remember where I was in 2007 and who I am in 2018, and I wouldn't change a thing. That's it.